Hello, everyone, and a huge welcome to our latest webinar, and maybe the biggest one, the most important one we've ever done. I'm Nathan, and if you've not joined one of these before, I'm the event and community manager here at Guidebook. I am an ex-Guidebook customer as well, and I've been in the event industry now for about 15 years, which actually is probably about the time Guidebook was founded in Silicon Valley, if my memory serves me right. But it's important to say, we are still a US organization where about 90% of our business and staff is, even though today, by chance, you're going to have two British accents on this webinar. So it's funny, we had a conversation the other day in preparation for this session, and I sort of said to Golnar and Stuart, who I will introduce shortly, I would have loved for Guidebook to have registration back when I was a customer. We were running over 100 events on Guidebook, I think, at the time. And yeah, it would have made my life so much easier to just have an integrated platform. So I'm thrilled that I'm here as a Guidebook employee and getting to share this with you all today, and really excited to bring this to you all. Now, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. If you have questions throughout, we'll just ask that pop them in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. We've got time and space to take those questions. So yeah, use the Q&A, use the chat. Also, just let us know in the chat where you're joining us from today. We'd love to get a sense of who's here, whether it's your organization or maybe the state or country. Let us know. It's always good to get a sense of that. You're all here because you're event planners, meeting planners, associated with events in some way or capacity. And as an event planner, the world can be full of juggling disconnected tools, wrestling with spreadsheets, trying to create seamless and better experiences for your attendees. And maybe your tech stack isn't really allowing you to do that. So we're here today to try and change that. And before we do dive in, I just want to get a sense of what's important to everyone on this call today. So I'm going to launch a quick poll, and I just want to hear about your event goals. So when it comes to your event goals, really what is your priority, your number one priority? So yeah, I'm just going to give them a second to come in. I'm excited to see that the attendee experience right now is winning out. But yeah, just give it another couple of moments, and then I'll share the results with you all. Okay, so the growing revenue is pretty low down on that list, which is interesting to see. As I mentioned, attendee experience, and I'll share the results. Hopefully you can all see those now. Attendee experience there were 38%, joint with all of the above and more. Now, this was a little bit of a loaded poll. In my opinion, all of these link back to the attendee experience, which is really at the heart of what we believe in and what today is about. So I'm excited to have Stuart, our president, with us, and Golnar, our group product manager. Firstly, thank you both for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to come in here and answer some questions, and we're excited to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about what our team's been up to and to answer people's questions at the end as well.
Likewise, thanks for having me, and it's great to see so many people in chat from all over the place. So looking forward to it.
Right, well, let's get stuck in. Stuart, I'm going to put you in the hot seat first. So look, Guidebook is known for, and loved for, being a mobile first company. And the big question in my mind is, why registration? Why launch it now? And how does this new platform, new release, reinforce our mobile identity rather than change it?
Yeah, I think the on-site experience at an event will always be the most important thing. We go to events to learn new things, to meet new people, and technology should help us to do that, but it should never be front and center, in my opinion. Nobody says, I really want to go to that event because their registration process is so good, or because their check-in process is so good, or because their app is so good, right? But if those pieces aren't smooth or enjoyable, people feel that friction. And so by supporting the first step of the attendee journey, which is registration, we're ensuring that they're off to a great start. And more importantly, when they get to the event, we want to make sure that the technology is seamless, and our app supports their on-site experience. Nathan and I, we were just in Vegas attending IMEX, which is a huge event earlier this month in the events industry. Everyone is using their phone all day when they're there. They're using the app, and just generally, mobile. I think mobile is the medium that supports people during the on-site days of an event, and just generally when you're somewhere new, when you're on the move, you're using your phone, right? So that's where our focus has always been. We're just now able to support that attendee experience at an earlier stage.
Yeah, I love that. I like the focus on the entirety of that journey whilst not losing our way in what's important about who we are and how we provide and support event planners. And I'm just curious, what does this mean for the event planner themselves? We know, or I can speak from my experience, getting into event planning, you don't come into this industry necessarily to become a software expert or a technology expert. You come in because, you love bringing people together. You love creating spaces where people can share knowledge, connect. You love creating experiences. So how does this launch maybe help people get back to what they love about the role or love about planning events?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously you did the poll earlier, and it's great to see so many votes for the attendee experience. And of course, all of the above, there's so many parts that are important, but our focus is on the attendee experience. And by launching registration, we're really excited to support event planners with improving that in two main ways. Firstly, like I said before, like an event is nothing really without a great attendee experience. If people don't learn new things, meet new people, and feel like their attendance was worth their time, their time away from the office, away from their family, away from their to-do list, they won't come back. And when they're actually on site, nothing, in my opinion, impacts that experience more than their mobile device and an event app specifically. That is their sort of constant guide and support during an event. And so not only do we do that, we also give our customers time back. And our goal is to eliminate the tedious, soul-crushing administrative work of exporting and importing spreadsheets and wrestling with disconnected systems. And all of that extra time that we give back to event planners, they can then reinvest into their attendees, into their partners, and really ensure that the event is a success. As you said, Nathan, nobody got into events to become a software expert. Like, technology is there to support and make everyone's lives easier and help them to achieve more. But it's not the end game. I hope it's not the end game. We really feel like we can help reduce stress with more accurate, easy to access data and a really seamless, reliable process for attendees from day one. And I believe that we can make events more fun for both organizers and attendees, just by making everything so much smoother, so much more centered around that on-site experience. And that makes me really, really excited and proud.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that part there around, giving time back to event planners and almost giving them the space to be able to focus on what's important and give them the tools that allow them to do that in a simple manner, but yet still powerful. We talk about powerful simplicity, and having had this conversation with a lot of people at IMEX, the event you mentioned, one of the things that jumped out to me was, we are one of the few players that's mobile first, and that's really important because they care about that process, and they care about that powerful tool in their hands. And actually, registration should and can integrate really well with that. But being a mobile first company gives us hopefully a little leg up on a few things. Now, I think we need to jump into what's important. I think it's time to see it in action. So go on, I'm going to welcome you up, and I'd love for you to share a little few things, and I might throw an odd question at you as we jump through a little demo here.
Perfect. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Nathan. I'm going to get my screen share going. Sorry. Are we looking at A guidebook
go.
dashboard there? Perfect, thank you. So you mentioned powerful simplicity, Nathan, and I love to hear that because that means this will hopefully be a brief demo, but impactful. So I really want to remind everybody, please continue sharing questions in chat. We have set aside time for Q&A. So I'm gonna run through this and then we'll have time for sure at the end. Let's get into registration here in the bottom left-hand corner. There are genuinely 2, maybe 3 major steps to setting up your registration website with Guidebook. Step 1 is event details. What's happening, when, and where. And you can also custom brand your registration experience here. Add a logo, add your colors. And we just need those 3 colors, and then we'll kind of calculate it and curate that website for you. So that's it, step 1. We're practically halfway there. Step 2 is configuring your ticket types. And these are your registration offerings. These are the different options that you're providing for your audiences. And all you need to do is click add tickets and then add as many as you need. There's no limit. You can add as many different ticket types. And I'll kind of click into this to show you what configuring a ticket type looks like. What is this ticket type all about? When is it available? How many are available? Optionally, if you're selling tickets, you can set prices here. And then you can customize your registration form for this ticket type. And of course, this is super important. You need to collect your attendee data. So we will always collect first name, last name, and email. And then you can choose to add however many additional questions of various question types that you would like in your registration form. And last but not least, you can optionally include a confirmation message. So this is a great place to remind your registrants of next steps. Maybe it's a, hey, we'll be in touch, keep an eye out for your email. Or maybe it's a, download the app and start connecting with your colleagues now. Whatever that next step may be, or whatever reminder you want to share, you can include that here. Let me hop back out. So that was step 2. If you have a free event, you have finished setting up registration. You've told us what's happening, when and where. We've branded the site a little bit, and then you set up your tickets, you can publish. If you have a paid event, there is one more step, which is to configure Stripe. So we are using Stripe as our payment processing partner. If you are using Stripe, or if you have paid tickets, a little button will pop up and say, hey, you need to connect Stripe. And I'm not going to go through all the steps there. It's very straightforward. We do have a support article kind of walking you through Stripe configuration. And of course, our support team is available to help you if needed. But that is kind of major step 3 if you have paid events, and then you can publish your site. Before I switch gears and talk about the end user experience, I do want to call out for paid ticketing. We do have discount codes that you can set up. So just wanted to touch on that super briefly. We do offer that feature as well.
And before we get to the end user side, I'm just curious to kind of jump a little bit more into registration forms. We've made some big updates there, and I'm just curious how those changes are kind of helping that registration flow, be a little bit more powerful.
That's a great question. I'll show you on the backend side and then go to the end user side. So over here in the form builder, in an earlier iteration, we only had free response question types. That was our initial phase, was just text fields only. And now you can have multiple choice dropdown, branching, some logic there, as well as free response, maybe PDFs or date questions. And the goal there is for y'all as event organizers, we want to give you the data in a manageable format, right? If you're asking for t-shirt size, someone might type in S or small or misspell it or do some other abbreviation. But when you have a dropdown or checkbox or multiple choice, you have cleaner data and it'll accelerate your logistics management there. So let's see what that looks like for the end user. I've got this open in another tab here. Here's my reg page. We see my logo, my colors that I provided. We see the ticket types, and I organize this in a group to kind of visually structure my offerings. My sponsors are down here. I'll come back to that in a second. But let's see what it looks like to fill out that form. Sorry for my really loud keyboard, but let's put in the basic information here. So again, accelerating the registration experience, making it quick and easy for an attendee to get to that activation step, get to that order placement. Instead of having to type in these answers, now I can just click, click, click. And I want to show you, I do have this set up as a branching question. So if I click no, great. If I click yes here, a subset of questions appears, and I could upload a PDF. I could answer whatever additional questions I need to answer based on that. Let's hop over into the next step. If this was a free ticket, my next step would be confirmation. I'd be done. Or if I've applied a discount and zeroed out my cart, I'd be done. Because this is a paid ticket, let's see what that Stripe powered payment looks like. I've just got a little test account here. Otherwise it would say pay your organization name. And let me show you what this looks like. With Stripe, we've got extra layers of security. We have reporting. We have a lot of things that are baked in that you can expect from a top-tier international payment processing tool. So makes this quick and easy. Let me submit that payment. And then here's the confirmation page that I mentioned. I also received a confirmation email at this point.
So I'm curious as well, we speak about the connectivity on the back end and, once you've just purchased your ticket, like what does that mean for the flow across all of the now Guidebook product suite? How does that data integrate from registration to app, etc.?
Let's pop back into the builder view and see where that reg data lives. Where do your registrants get recorded? And you can also see this by orders, which always takes an extra second to load. So you can manage registration here. And also you can use Guidebook registration in isolation. If you don't need any other tooling, great. This is here for you. Powerful simplicity. This is all you need. But as you mentioned, Nathan, registration is part of a powerful product array. And there are a couple of ways that you can connect registration to other tools. There are a couple of ways this end-to-end solution fits together. So I showed you where the registrants live. Those registrants also get added to your users list here. There are much fewer because I use the same email over and over for my testing. But imagine this is, 50, 100, thousands of people that have registered. They are now here in the users list. And what does that unlock for us? That means I can send invitations to these users. Hey, here's how you download the app. Get your schedule, connect with people, get all the information you need, maximize your time at the event. Notifications, I can target notifications to specific users or to groups. I mentioned schedule. You can maybe choose your own adventure, or you can create preset or personalized schedules for your audiences. And there's no spreadsheet import. There's no moving between disparate systems. You use Guidebook Reg, and it seamlessly flows into Guidebook Mobile. You're ready to use the mobile app. In addition to some of those tools to inform and engage your attendees, we also have badges, right? So we have a digital badge in the app, which has like your profile and your QR code. And we also have tooling for designing and printing physical badges as well. So that users list will populate the badges for you. You don't have to go to a different platform or again, import, export those spreadsheets. The data is flowing through one funnel, and then you can implement it in a few different ways for the digital and physical experience at the event. I see a bunch of questions coming in. I'm very excited to get to those. Anything else you want me to showcase, Nathan, or any other questions you had for me?
No, I think that's it for now. I think, thank you to everyone. Keep sending in those questions. We're taking a note of them. We're going to get to those at the end. And Linda, I see you have your hand raised. So I just want you to know I'm not ignoring you. Feel free to pop your question in the chat, or when we get to the Q&A, if you pop your hand up again, I think we can allow you to talk at that point. But yeah, just to let you know, we're not ignoring that your hand is raised there. Well, firstly, Goran, thank you for taking us through that, and I'm sure we'll come back to some components of this once we get to that Q&A section. And I'm just curious, from a product perspective, why was making that sync between registration, app, badging, like all of that? Why was it such a non-negotiable for your team? Like, what real-world pain point are you ensuring that you solve there?
So from conversations with our product advisory board members and with many other folks, we are really focused on flattening the tech stack, like we mentioned at the top of the call. And what does that mean? We want to reduce the number of disparate tools you need to manage your event. Maybe you have a website over here, your reg platform over here, you have emails and spreadsheets and phone calls and people tapping you on the shoulder, and then the app is separate somewhere else. How can we streamline and simplify? That's what it really, really boiled down to.
I love that. And Stuart, kind of coming to you for a second here, just as we sort of come to the end of this section, I'm just really thinking like, what does this deep integration say about Guidebook's core philosophy? And really now what hopefully is our unique position in the market? You're on mute.
I was on mute, sorry. Yeah, I think it clearly shows that we are pretty singularly focused on the quality of the attendee experience, which I've obviously talked about a lot today. I think you touched on this earlier, Nathan, like most other platforms have always treated the mobile app, the event app, as an add-on, typically to their registration system, where maybe it was the 5th or the 10th or the 50th thing that they built, as they went along. And for us, obviously that was the first thing that we built. And I think for a lot of companies in the space, the majority of the job is done once a ticket is sold. And we really feel like that's where the job begins. Our platform is built from the mobile app outward. And we just care really, really deeply that the data that, that feeds into that core on-site experience is flawless. So where you can use these registration products as a standalone, if it's a free event and free registration, you can use it completely free of charge. We wanted them to be standalone. We want to support the events industry. We want more events to happen. We believe in the power of events. But we really view ourselves as an end-to-end partner for that attendee journey. And our focus always has been and will continue to be that on-site experience.
Yeah, I love that. And I think at that point, at this point, I'm gonna pause there. I really do want to get to the Q&A as so many have come in and give time and space to that. But before we do, I've just got, I guess, a final question for you both. It's great where we are today, but people are always curious, we're moving forward. We have to continually be moving forward. Are there any little sneak peeks or little bits of information you can share about what's next? So like, Gona, this is a huge launch for us, but I'm just curious on the product side, is there anything you can share about what maybe people can be looking out for, or maybe what, future things we've got coming up?
I am happy to share just a couple of tidbits on the roadmap. First of all, we want to continue refining that integration between registration and app management. So even if we don't answer everyone's questions today, it's really, really useful for me to see what you need. And we want to continue iterating on registration and deliver value there within that end-to-end system. And then the second thing I wanted to touch on, again, because the attendee experience is our core mission, we are working to bring AI tooling into the platform. We want to make sure it's not just a checkbox and a feature comparison chart. We want to make sure we understand how AI can genuinely enhance the attendee experience for people in app, getting information they need faster, easier, but also for all of y'all as event planners, how are we helping you design better experiences, build better apps more quickly? So those are just a couple of things that I'm super excited about.
Amazing, yeah, lots of exciting things. And Stuart, I know there might be one or two things you're able to share. So same question to you, but maybe more on the business side. Is there anything that you want to highlight before we jump to the Q&A? Things that are exciting that could be coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I hope you can all see how Guidebook is evolving. You know, we're obviously talking about the product evolution here. But for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you may have seen during Golnar's demo a little a new Guidebook logo, some new colors. The next step for us is a rebrand, which will be launching next month. Same name, Guidebook's not going away, but there'll be new colors, new logo, and you know, it's a chance for us to really reflect our progression as a product and as a company over the last 15 years. We want everyone to take a first or a second look at Guidebook and realize that we are more than just a mobile app building platform. But also, of course, as I've talked about multiple times today, we want to convince them that the attendee experience is most impacted by that mobile technology. And that is why we believe that it should sit right at the heart of an event technology strategy. So yeah, we're really, really excited about that rebrand. People will see changes within the app. They'll see changes within Builder. More is to come here. I know we're going to get to as many questions as we can, but I know a number of questions are around developments in registration, and we are committed to continue iterating. I don't think anyone will ever build every single capability, but we want to listen to our customers. We want to listen to the market, continue doing that, and continue iterating. So yeah, excited to get into the questions and cover as much ground as we can.
Amazing. Well, firstly, thank you both for coming, sharing, and being part of this really exciting moment in Guidebook history. So we've had a lot of questions. I think we should dive right in. The one I just want to take first is, I think Patty asked, is this available now? And the answer is absolutely yes. Guidebook registration is live, and we'll share some more information a bit later on how you can get going with that. But it is there and it is ready to be used. So I'm going to tackle a few of these questions. One of the ones that I saw come up early was just around, will the fields in the reg form be auto-filled if the users are logged in?
Will the fields be auto-filled if you're logged in? Currently, no, there is not a sync happening, automatically pulling in your account data. But I'm writing all of these questions down. I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, and I think what we would say there is, based on the conversations we've had with customers, and with our product advisory board, the feeling is that most people are registering outside of the app. They're not in the app. They're not logged into the app. So we really sort of focused on, we focused on that web experience, both desktop and mobile, where we generally don't expect people to be logged in, but it doesn't seem that hard. We can obviously look at that and explore it.
Amazing. We've had a few questions around pricing structure. So how does it work with the paid ticketing section? What is the pricing structure there? And I think secondary to that, we have had a few questions around payment providers. So, and we'll be using other payment providers. So I think we can sort of tackle both of those together as they're around payment structure.
I might take that out of order and then pass to you, Stuart. So to start, we are partnering with Stripe. We are currently not developing an integration with another provider at this time. However, please let us know what you're using. Please reach out to your account manager to kind of walk us through what your current processes look like. Again, that's valuable feedback for us to understand what a future iteration might be. And then Stuart, do you want to chat more about the fee structure and what that looks like?
Yep. So to confirm again, free event, free registration, free of charge. We truly believe in the power of events. I see this as us kind of putting our money where our mouth is and supporting those free events and not charging for it. For paid events where tickets are sold, we take a small fee at the point of sale. So again, there's no upfront commitment from customers. We are running a launch offer that will be valid for people's first event for all ticket sales before July the 1st, 2026. So we've got a long, we've got a long period of time here where we want to have that launch offer. We want people to use Guidebook and trust us. And so for standard customers, the Guidebook fee will be 1.25% plus 50 cents per ticket sold. And then on top of that will be standard Stripe fees. And then for our branded app customers, they will get favorable pricing. So it'll be 1% plus 40 cents per ticket sold, again, plus Stripe fees. So these are very, very competitive prices. We want to get people switching. We want to get people trying us and trusting us. And yeah, to confirm, that launch offer is in place until the middle of next year.
Love that. Go and take advantage of it. We've got a few kind of functional questions, and Golnar, these might be best sent over to you, but can you offer multiple price levels on registration, so i.e. student versus professionals within one form?
So I would set those up as different ticket types. So you might have like your VIP, your student, your presenter, so on and so forth. Like have different ticket types, and then set up the form for each of them. And don't forget you have discount codes. If there's someone that you do, especially for sponsoring a student or something like that, a discount code can help them get in the door and attend.
And kind of similar on the front end, one of the questions was around, can one person register multiple attendees? So, and what does that look like? Does attendee 2/3 info all show on the same page? Like, how does that work if you're, maybe you're registering for a group of employees, etc.?
That's a great question. So let's say I'm registering all of us to attend an event. I will be the contact person, and then I'm filling out a ticket for each of us. Because I'm the contact person, I will get the receipt email, and then each registrant will get their confirmation email. So short answer, yes, you can sign up multiple people at once, and each person will get the information they need as an attendee.
Okay. And how does the user access the registration form? Is it through the app, or can it be embedded on on their website, depending on who's using Guidebook?
So it is a web-based feature. So you'll have a URL for your main registration page, or if you have ticket groups, maybe you have a URL for your sponsors, URL for speakers, or so on and so forth. You will have a URL that's just a website link. You can share it however you choose to share it. It will probably be outside the app because Reg is kind of upstream from the app experience, but you could email that link out. You could put that on your website. You can use Guidebook's free event marketing website to drive traffic to your registration page. Put that on socials, make a QR code out of it. However you want to get that URL out to your audiences, it's just a link that you would share any other kind of link.
And can people, once they've made their registration, can people make changes after it's complete? How does that work? Or updates?
Yeah, so currently I, as a registrant, will not be able to get back into my form, but I can reach out to the event organizer, and the event organizers have the power to modify registration data, even updating your form response if you made a typo or need to change a response to a form.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm just going through. There's a lot of good questions in here, which is great. I'm just trying to make sure we're not missing any here at all. There was one around just plans to expand registration, the future, the ability to load list of pre-designed designated invites, send invitations, things like that. Is that part of something we're thinking?
We have so many things we want to build for registration. I want to say I have I think it's up to 70 tickets in my feature request idea portal just around registration. I don't have the next iteration scoped out that I can share with y'all. Is this is what we're committed to building. So please keep giving us your feedback. Please keep telling us what you're looking for, what you need, what would make Guidebook registration the best solution for you. So I apologize, I don't have a perfect answer there, but we're listening. We're excited to hear what you are looking for.
Yeah, not at all. I'm loving, Jen. Thanks for your energy about the excitement around the next phase. I know you've used Free Reg for us as that was sort of an early release, and I just wanted to also ask, are there any early adopters, and how have they found using registration?
Stuart, I know you've been keeping an eye on that. Do you want to share any kind of success stories you've heard so far?
Yeah, I know one of our customers, the Retirement Administration National Daily Users Group, RANDUG. I don't know if they refer to themselves as that, but we talk about them as RANDUG. Yeah, we've been talking to them quite a lot because they're very, very early adopters of the registration tool. I think they were the first to start selling tickets, and they talked about just like what a time saver it has been for them. Their event lead, who's used Guidebook for many years, said that Guidebook just made a big difference in simplifying their reporting and also boosting registrations, and in turn has helped reduce the time that their volunteer board spends on tracking attendees and payments. So that's been a great success story. That's actually on our new event registration page on the website, which people can access, guidebook.com event-registration. You can read a little bit more about them and a bit more about the product as well. But yeah, it's been great to hear their story and see their success.
I love that. And one thing that's I think come up a few times, just the platform supporting multiple paths, so member versus non-member, different URLs. So maybe it's just good to kind of just go back to like some of how those ticket types work and those groupings work to really show people like they have some power on autonomy there with like add-ons, etc.
Let me get my screen share going again, just to show you like concretely what we mean about ticket groups and the different URLs. I think it's just helpful to show instead of keep talking about that. So I'm back here in Reg. This is a main registration page. Like all of your ticket offerings can be visible here, sorry, let me go into a group. But when you create groups, they're kind of like these folders or ways to visually organize your main registration page. You can also hide the group and use that as a separate URL. Let me see if I just refresh, or I need to publish updates. Here is sponsors only. This is what we mean by creating multiple registration web pages and being able to create these personalized registration experiences for your audience segments. So each group you create will create a separate web page if you want to use it that way. Speaking about member versus non-member, this is a request that we have heard a few times, which is, can our tooling in an automated way check if you're a member and then show you the correct pricing or the corresponding pricing? We have not built that out yet. It is something that we are hearing, and I hope for now, give us that feedback. Having multiple URLs and getting the right link to the right audience is a step in that direction.
Amazing. I think one thing as well that we'll do, there is a lot of good questions in here. And I think as part of our follow-up process, as we share the, on-demand footage of this, we'll create a little FAQ because I think that way, a lot of questions have been asked. It'd be great for people to kind of see those answers in writing so they can refer back or even hopefully prompt some future questions, feedback, etc. for us. So with that, I just do want to firstly again thank everyone here for joining us. I think it's been great to take this moment, especially this huge development for us, and share it with you all. Your feedback today and going forward is really valuable for us. So anyone who does start using the product, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to kind of set some time to gain that feedback in greater detail if you would love to share that with us. Stuart, Golnar, again, appreciate you both joining, giving us lots of insights into registration, kind of sharing some of the vision, the why. And for everyone else, that you can use this today. As I mentioned, you can head to guidebook.com, you go click on start building on our website or log into Builder if you already have an account and get going, go and play with the tool. Even if you're not thinking about using it right now, you can go and see what it can do, and you can start asking questions of us, your account managers. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you as you do that. And we really appreciate you all joining, and we're really excited for this huge step in the future of Guidebook.
Yep, and definitely to everybody that uses it, keep the feedback. You know, particularly those people who use it, try it, like keep that feedback coming. But yeah, just a big thank you to everybody for all the great questions. We will follow up with everyone who's attended. It's a lot of questions. We'll get a lot of answers in. You can all see it in one place. Honestly, it means a lot to me. I feel really proud of like how engaged you've all been today and how many great questions we have. It shows how much you care. It shows that we should have put all the blood, sweat, and tears into building this that we have. You know, I can't wait to share this with the team and the engineers so that they can see the passion firsthand.
Amazing. Well, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.